Hi, I'm Katie from the tech team, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can access the New York Times for free using your Charleston County Public Library card. In addition to showing you how to access the New York Times, I'm also going to show you how you can manage your profile settings, alter your subscriptions, and save some articles to read later. So sit back, relax, and let's find some interesting news articles. When you begin accessing the New York Times using your Charleston County Public Library card, you do not want to start off on the New York Times website. Instead, you need to start off on the Charleston County Public Library website, which is ccpl.org. Once you're on our website, you will go to Use Your Library and then Digital Collections. After clicking on that, it might take a moment for it to load, but you will see all of our digital collection tabs here, and you want to go to Books and Magazines. Now there's more than one way to access the New York Times from our website, but I have found that this is the easiest one to remember. Once this loads, you'll see immediately on the right-hand side where there is a box for the New York Times. Yes, you can access this on the computer or through your smartphone device. Just know that I am showing you how to access it through the web browser on your computer. And here is a little bit more information about the New York Times. You will be getting access to newspapers dating from the mid-1800s to 1922, as well as articles from 1981 right up until today. There's a little bit of a gap in there, but that's still a ton of coverage for free. Whenever you do log in, you will have 24 hours of free access. So that's important to note that you will have to continue to renew your access once that 24-hour period has expired. But again, it's free. So I'm going to click here. Whenever you are accessing the New York Times from home, after clicking on click here, you will be prompted to put in your Charleston County Public Library number. If you are inside the library or on our Wi-Fi, this is not a necessary step. You will see that you are getting a special offer from the New York Times. You will get this unique code. Again, no credit card required to redeem your code. All you have to do is click on redeem, and it's going to take us to the New York Times website. Now here is the page that you will get. If you are a first-time user, of course, you're going to need to create a free account. If you already have a New York Times account, I'm going to show you how you can log in it that way in just a moment, but I do want to cover some of the ways you can create your account. You can continue with Google, which would be using your Gmail account. You can continue with Facebook, which means you would just have to log in with your Facebook account, or continue with Apple, which again, your iCloud account. If you don't have one of these, that does not mean that you cannot create an account with the New York Times. You can use your regular email, like if you have a Yahoo account or something, maybe you have a Google account, but you don't want to continue with it. So you would type in your email address and password right here. Do note that there is a checkbox underneath where you input your password where you're agreeing to receive updates and offers from the Times. You may opt out anytime. This is a checkbox that if you do not want to receive excess ads from them or updates, you can deselect that. I'm going to leave it checked for now. Of course, anytime you create an account with any website, you do want to make yourself aware of their terms of service and their privacy policies. So those are clickable. You can read those. Make sure you are okay with their terms before creating an account. And then once you had supplied all this information, you would click on Create Account right here. I already have a New York Times account, and some of you watching this video might already have an account. So instead of filling out this information here, you're going to want to click on Log In. So that changes here. Again, I'm going to type in my email address that I already have. Type in my password. I'm not going to show you my password, but do note that many websites have this show feature here, where if you're not sure if you accidentally hit the wrong letter or number or symbol, you can verify what your password is there. You can have it remember you. Again, a checkbox right here. If you're going to be viewing several articles that day, you don't have to constantly log back in. But if you're on a shared or public computer, you might not want it to remember you because you could be giving someone else access to your account. Of course, if it's been a while and you've forgotten your password, there are options to recover your password that way. So don't fret if it's been a while since you've logged into your account. All that said, I'm going to click log in. It might take it a moment. It'll ask if I wanted to save my password. I do not. And it says your access code is valid. They have sent a confirmation email to me. My access starts today and it's going to end tomorrow, which happens to be October 23rd. Now, the next part, once we click continue, is kind of their getting started, setting up your account. This is optional. I do want you to know that down here you can select maybe later, but this is where you can kind of curate your experience. This is something where you'll see the plus sign next to different topics, and you can click check if you want them to send you, periodic emails. So if I check this right here, 4 times a week, I'm going to get some daily inspiration, delicious recipes, and other updates from the New York Times cooking section. Maybe I need to subscribe to that. If you are wanting to get some information on the coronavirus schools briefing, back to school, not back to school, halfway back to school, they let you know that 3 times a week you could receive this update. Now, of course, if I selected that by mistake, I don't want that. I can quickly deselect it. And again, it lets you know how often you're going to get it. Now, breaking news is as needed. There are many days that go by where the news isn't that fascinating, and then there are some days when there's tons of things going on. So you would be getting the breaking news updates for high profile things. So you can save and continue. By default, you're going to get the morning newsletter, which will kind of give you a briefing every morning. But I'm going to show you later how, if you do opt into some of these, you can definitely opt out if they are sending you way too many emails. So I'm going to save and continue. Of course, they do want to plug their app where you can follow topics, save devices, and play the mini crossword right from your smartphone. However, that is not required. If you wanted to do it, you could type in your phone number and they would send you a link to download the app, but I'm going to click on no thanks because I'm not demoing the app right now. And finally, after all of our setup, here we are on the New York Times homepage. So this is what you will get. It defaults to today's paper. These are today's headlines. Of course, you do have all of the different topics across the top. You can, select the travel section. I know travel might not be at the forefront of everyone's mind right now, or maybe we're thinking of better days whenever we will be doing much more traveling. But again, you can find articles here. It does take it a little while. You'll see that some of them are loading. You can scroll, kind of find something that interests you. I'd love to go through a national forest. So if I click on this article right here, once it loads, the beautiful scenery and everything, you can kind of scroll down and it gives you some options with these articles. So of course, we can simply read it, right? That's what we're doing here, is trying to find some articles to read. But the New York Times does also give you options to share it across different platforms if you want to. You can email this to yourself or a friend. Right here, I do want to point out these 2 icons. The one with the 93 inside of it right now, that just means there's been 93 comments on the New York Times website to do with this article. So you can absolutely add your own comment to it if you want to. But this right here, that kind of looks like a bookmark, this would allow you to save this article to read later. Maybe you found something that has really caught your attention, but you just don't have the time to sit through and read it right now. So if I click on save, you'll notice that it is now kind of a darker color. You don't get a pop-up or anything, but this indicates that I have saved this article to view later. So we're going to talk about where to find that in just a minute. You can scroll through the article. You'll see the publication date. You can go back up to the top to, look at the beautiful scenery, but to get out of the article, you can go back. And the travel page will load because that was the last one that I was on. If I wanted to navigate away from this page, I could click on the 3 bars on the left-hand side and I can navigate to different sections. You'll see that some have subsections, such as business also has information on the economy, energy, markets, etc. The opinion pieces, text. So this is a way that you can navigate as well. And then again, if I go back one more time using the back arrow, this takes me back to the landing page where it is today's paper and you get all the topics across the top right here. So before we go into our account settings, I do want you to know that you can also search through the New York Times. So the ads have it kind of jumping around a little bit. You can also search through the New York Times. This magnifying glass right here, if you click on this, you can type in a keyword. So I was just in the travel section, which is fine, but maybe I want to read up a little bit on computers. I'm a tech librarian, right? I know I can probably get there through the tech group right there, but I'm going to do a search for computers too. And once I do a search, you'll see that this first article comes from the technology section, but if I would have just went in straight into tech, I might have missed this business article about what's going on with Intel and memory chips and lots of money. So you'll even see that computers have something that's being come up in politics or style. Hygiene in the Zoom era. So again, while it is instinctive that if I am trying to read up on computers or seeing what's going on, if I do a search, it's going to expand it a lot more. It's not just coming up through the technology section of the New York Times. So again, just some different options for you. You can search for specific dates if you're looking for an article. But the search feature is pretty nifty. It can be very broad. You can limit the section that your results are going to come back from. You can also limit the date range. You can plug in specific dates. You can be looking for something in the past month. Maybe it's like, I know I saw an article about this, but I'm not entirely sure when. So this can kind of help you limit your search. And your type of articles right here, or type of media, really. There's more than just articles. There might be some audio clips, videos, interactive graphics. So there are more than just articles on the New York Times. You might have some videos that maybe are what you're looking for. So just something to think about whenever you're doing your searches. And now I've been teasing your account settings and whatnot whenever we saved that article and whenever we were setting up our account, what we subscribe to. So let's get to our account. It can be found in the upper right hand corner. You're looking for something that says account with a little drop down arrow next to it. When you click on that arrow, you'll see this is the first part of my username, or first part of my email, which is my username. Immediately it does show me what articles I have saved to read for later, but I can go into my account settings by clicking on that. And once it loads, of course, it does provide some information like what my actual account number is, my email address. You can change it. Just because you signed up with one email address doesn't mean you can't change it from something else. We do have basic digital access. That is our subscription type through the library. And over here, if I go to settings, this is where I can also change the newsletters that I'm subscribed to. You remember earlier whenever we first signed up for our account, it automatically subscribed us to The Morning, and it I chose to subscribe to Cooking. But maybe I've changed my mind. I am not an inspired chef. I do not want to see these recipes that are way above my comfort level. So with a simple click, I can unsubscribe from Cooking. It'll ask if I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. So now that is off of my newsletter list. If I'm interested in others that I kind of forgot to subscribe to earlier, I can go to View All, and it will bring up that list again in a new window. It takes it a second. And then you will see these newsletters that, they kind of teased some of these earlier, but there's much more. So again, your interests don't have to just be compacted into those few newsletters that they showed us whenever we first created our account. Ooh, I love soccer, so maybe I want to now subscribe to this one. So again, it is one of those things where whatever your interests are, you can kind of tailor them to the emails that you're going to be getting from them. Once I'm done here, I'm just going to close out. We're still in my settings. It hasn't updated it just yet. I can reload this page with a little refresh wheel, and then it should have my new subscription on there if I want to verify that that was that went through. Another place where I can change my email or reset my password. You can take a look at the privacy policy here. So maybe you signed up for your account and kind of blew on through and really didn't pay attention to the privacy policy. You can view it here under your account settings. And then I can click to go back to my account right here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And this is where I can view my saved articles. Maybe now I am ready to read that article about the Alaska National Park. So I can click on view my saved articles. This is where my reading list is. If I have the app, I will still have access to this because it says access on any device. So here is the article that I saved today. It was published on October 19th, but I saved it today. And here's one that I saved a long time ago. So again, it's all the way back from May, but it's still showing up on my account in October. Once you read an article and you don't want it on your saved list anymore, there's just a little X right there. So I can remove this one by clicking the X, and now it's no longer on my reading list. So you're more than welcome to keep articles on your reading list after you've read them, if you're wanting to share them with others or come back to it to look at more details. But I like to kind of clean up my list once I've read something. So these are how you can navigate some of your settings in the New York Times once you have created your account. As always, anytime you kind of find yourself getting buried in your settings or you've gotten to a part of the website that you didn't mean to get to, you can click on their logo, New York Times, right at the top. Takes you back to the home page. Yes, you can look at the international, Canadian, or Spanish version, or even Chinese version of this, but this is kind of your brief overview of the New York Times. Of course, if you encounter any issues with it, with your access, please do let us know. We'd be more than happy to help or get it straightened out. Thank you for joining me for this video, and I hope to see you again soon.